Rece, just what does this weekend mean to you, having the opportunity to be here as a part of Lee Corso's final show?
He has meant so much to the show. His fingerprints are going to be on this show forever. And he was the cornerstone and the building block. I think fans have always loved college football for 150 years. But I believe that no one is more responsible for the popularity of it being a day-long, into the wee hours of the morning television event than Lee Corso. He made it fun. He was irreverent. He used humor. He could have strong takes and not be afraid of anything. And, it's really cool to be able to be here. It's sad, but it's also a celebration. It's mostly a celebration of a career that is really unlike many you see in television. Almost everyone, no matter what they accomplish in our industry, sort of gets dragged out boots first, and they don't really get a chance to say farewell. They don't get a chance to say thank you. It's just one day they're not on anymore. And so I think it's really special that we are able to talk with Lee about what he's meant, to celebrate with him, to laugh with him, to walk down memory lane, and to talk ball with him one more time. So, I think it's a really special weekend. And I also want to say, and I don't know how much of this you guys will run, our gratitude to Ohio State and the administration and the athletic department, Ryan, and the whole football program for the way they have adapted a really important day for them to let us and let LC be part of that is really cool. And the headgear pick is going to be unlike any. It'll be number 431, and it'll be one of one. It'll be different from any other one you've ever seen. I don't know who he's picking, but I know the actual structure of it will be different than anything we've ever done.
Out of all the headgear picks that you've seen as host, or even watching when Chris was doing it, you got a favorite one or top two?
Well, Lee said last night, he stopped by our dinner, and he said it was when he said a bad word because his grandchildren told him he was a hero. I told him, I said, I think you should have washed your mouth out so personally, but no. There have been so many funny ones. I think when 2019 LSU Texas game, Matthew McConaughey was our guest picker, and LC picked LSU, and McConaughey, ripped the tiger head off of him and threw it. That was kind of funny. LC's always ready to play along. When he dressed up my first year on the show, we went to James Madison, and he dressed up as James Madison, which he dressed as Ben Franklin prior to that, and then James Madison. Just, the entertainer. And whenever the entertainment side came out, which it always did, but when he would go that extra mile, those are the ones I love.
You guys obviously had a lot of emotion over the last. How do you think y'all will handle it? Do you think it'll be more of a celebration, or do you think it'll be emotional?
Well, it'll be both. I would be being disingenuous if I said it. Hey, listen, total celebration. Nobody will ever get choked up. But it's okay. He's meant so much to the people on the set, so much to our fans. He's meant so much to the whole sport of college football. That's going to be natural. But the goal is to make it a celebration. I did a little thing with him that I put out on social media earlier, so like 8-10 minute conversation with him. And I said, what's all this like? He goes, I felt like I was dead, and it's, he was joking about it, but, I said, people meant everything they said. My grandmother passed away when she was in her 50s, and I can remember as a kid, she used to say, give me my flowers while I'm still alive, while I'm still with you to enjoy it. And I think it's a real blessing that we're able to give Lee his flowers on a day when he's, feeling great, doing great, excited for a game, and we're gonna walk down memory lane and celebrate with him.
What are your thoughts?
Just to the rumor that moving forward we'll get Desmond Howard in the Brutus headgear.
I can put that rumor to rest because I've gone on record early in this summer saying anyone who tries to put on a mascot headgear to make a pick at the end of the show, I will deliver a form tackle that would make Chris Spielman jealous. How about that? Okay.
What are your thoughts just on this game, this matchup?
Where are you from?
Columbus.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Both teams are really talented. What we see tomorrow is not necessarily what we will see in December. Both teams have a lot of room for growth. I think as much as I anticipate and eager to see Arch, as much as I want to see Julian Say and Jeremiah Smith, the whole game to me rides on, can Ohio State's offensive line do anything with Texas pass rush? I mean, Colin Simmons has been the one they talked about. Trey Moore was third in the nation in sacks when he was at UTSA. They've got a freshman All-American transferred in from Syracuse up front. That's what I think the game changes on. And I think, in all honesty, Texas is a little more proven there. But it's not like Ohio State's, running out of a bunch of guys from the Sigma Newhouse to play on the offensive line just because they're new guys. They're just highly talented, really good players who haven't played as much in some cases yet. So I want to see how they hold up there. If they hold up there, everybody keeps saying, and I think Pete Thamel, Stanford Steve said, I think this game's going to be a slog. I think there's too much skill, man. I mean, look, do I think it's going to be, 42-38? No. But I also don't think it's going to be 13-10 either. I think there are too many guys with explosive capabilities on both sides, particularly the fellow that plays wide receiver for the Buckeyes. I know they held him to one catch for 3 yards in the Cotton Bowl, but I'd be surprised if those are the numbers this time around. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it's a great way to start the season. And I think it's also really important to keep playing these games, and equally important is for these games to mean something other than, well, we'll get into conference play. Yeah, no. What?
I hope you want to get on with Corso tomorrow.
What the heck?
They've been to 150
What?
football games.
What are they? Are they parrots
They
or
are macaws, sir.
macaws?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, Chris Mullen walked them in NBC Sports about 5 years ago.
Oh yeah?
Yes, sir.
How about that?
God bless you. Tell Lee we love him.
All right, I will. There are macaws there. Yeah. I resisted the urge to ask. Never mind. I'm not going to put that on tape. Never mind. Sorry. Sometimes see our PR person is right over here, and she's not stopping me from saying something that I shouldn't have said about the macaws. No, okay. I didn't say it, Julie. That's good. See?
Guaranteed offside.
And some for you too. Right back at you. Okay.
That
I'm
leads
sorry.
me to a perfect segue. Were there,
College football's back. The weird, the wacky, the chaos, the
in the years
macaws.
you've known him, has Lee Corso surprised you?
Wouldn't say surprise. I would say, how about impressed? I think the way he embraces everybody, whenever someone is new to the show, whether it was me, I'm starting my 11th season now, or whether it's more recently Nick or Pat, whoever we've had come in over the years, he is, he's like a coach. He's like, I love those players we had. Now I love these new players too. And he's just an impressive guy. And I think the passion that he's had for it has always been something that's impressed me. The one thing I will say this, okay, you asked surprise. It's been a while back, but I think one of my favorite LC memories I used to love because, Kirk had places going a lot of times it would just be LC and me who stayed for games. And I remember we stayed for a Clemson-Louisville game, the famous Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson game in 2016. And Lee had coached at Louisville. We'd been to Louisville earlier. And Bob Petrino was out there, yelling to Lamar Jackson and giving him the play. And it was as if LC was standing right beside Petrino. It was out on the field. It was almost like he was going, hey, let's run this one. Let's let 8 run with it here or something. And, his love for the game never diminished. Never became a job, always just a passion.
Time for one more?
Lee's always been the coach and the bedrock of this show, but the past 10, 11 years since a stroke, it seems like everybody's kind of helped pick him up and everything too.
Everyone has, but Kirk particularly has, and I think the best adjective I can think of to describe that relationship is sweet. It's sweet. It's kind. It's like a father and son, and many times, Kirk has said he's like a second father to him, and LC said that Kirk's like another son. And Kirk really put it well, I thought, recently when he said that early in his television career, he was sort of figuring it out as he went along. LC guided him, coached him, more of this, less of that type of thing, helped him along until Kirk's talent was able to shine through, which it did very quickly, by the way. But after the stroke, when the tables turned a little bit and Kirk needed to be there for him, he was. And I think all of us did everything we could to try to make sure that he was always in the best possible situation. But what Kirk did is really one of the cool relationships that you'll ever see in television, or anywhere else for that matter.